Hello, it's Melinda from Biohacking by Design, and it's a privilege today to be interviewing my really good friend, Trevor Oliver. Welcome, Trevor.
Thanks, Melinda. Good to be with you.
Thank you so much for making the effort to be here tonight. For those of you who don't know, every time you purchase a product from Biohacking by Design, a percentage of that money actually goes to support the medical work out in the Solomon Islands. And I'd really love to know, Trevor, what are you and your beautiful wife Helen doing out there?
All right, we've been operating a medical ship in the Solomon Islands for nearly 12 years, and that one ship has now grown to 5 ships. And these medical boats give free medical aid to the villages in the remote areas of the Western Solomon Islands.
Wow. So you've got 5 boats, and how many staff?
Well, we have about 19 staff that operate those 5 boats, and they're all local Solomon Island people.
Wow.
And do a really excellent job.
Perfect. So you've got local people helping local people.
Most definitely,
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's, how is that funded? How are they working out there?
Right, well, we fund the operation from Australia via kind donations, and also we run an op shop, a large op shop in Morisset, New South Wales, and that provides funds to keep everything operational, and we send the money from here, and the local people do the actual job out there.
Perfect. So you're here at home doing the work, so that people on the ground over there can just get on with the job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how it all works.
Lovely.
And 99% of the funds go straight to the Solomons. We only have 1 paid personnel in our office.
Wow.
Everybody else is volunteers. So when you give a donation, the money goes straight to the Solomon Islands.
Perfect. So you are so committed to making this work that you are doing this because you love it.
Absolutely. My wife was born in the Solomon Islands, a daughter of a missionary.
Wow.
And when we were married, she persuaded me to help her people out in the Solomons. So we've done it for 30 years altogether, and all on a voluntary basis.
What a blessing. Wow. So what would an average day look like out there in the Solomon Islands?
Yeah, well, most days it's raining, so you've always got to work around the rain. But in the morning, the nurses will shift the ship, or the captain will shift the ship to a new village. And when they arrive at a village, you can hear all the local people excited, coming to get treated on the boat. They line up on the shore, and our crew will go and pick them up, bring them to the ship. They get treated and then taken back to the village. And that will go on from about 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening. And then in the evening, the nurses go ashore and they run a health education program, helping them with lifestyle diseases. Diabetes is a big problem in the Solomons. So they do education, and sometimes that will go till after midnight. Very tiring for the nurses, and in a 2-week tour they'll treat about 1,000 patients and run about 10 of these evening programs.
Wow, so you've got 19 nurses, 2 weeks of solid work, and you've got over 1,000 people in that time frame that you're seeing each trip that you're going out, or they're going out. Yeah. So what sort of impact is this having in the villages?
This is having a tremendous impact because most of these people cannot get to any medical aid. The big problem that they have is that they do not have money to buy petrol. They have long distances to go to a hospital, and so us coming to their village gives them the only medical treatment that they will get. And we hear stories of children that have died simply because they haven't been able to get to a hospital. So it makes a big impact.
Wow. Is there anyone in particular that you're thinking of that you could share about their story?
Oh, one of the interesting stories, there was the story of these 3 people in a little canoe. They were battling big seas. It was a dark and windy, stormy night. They were trying to get to a little aid post 7 kilometres away by water. They were just having a hopeless time battling the seas. But as they were going, they saw a light anchored in a little bay, and it was one of our medicine ships, and so they turned their canoe and went into this medicine ship. This was 1 o'clock in the morning. The nurses were sound asleep, and then they heard all this noise at the back of the boat. They went out, and here was 2 men who were exhausted from paddling, but in the bottom of the boat lay a lady who'd just given birth to a tiny little babe. The nurses were confronted with this scene while they were still half asleep. excuse me. But they went back inside and they got a little birthing kit. This little birthing kit had been put together by a group in Sydney, and they'd lovingly put this kit together and sent it to the Solomons, and the nurses were able to take a little knife, cut the umbilical cord, stitch it up. Then they were able to help the lady to get comfortable. But the little baby was in the bottom of the canoe, it was full of water, so they went inside and they got a little blanket that had been stitched together by some old ladies in Newcastle in their sewing club, and they put this little blanket around the baby, got it warmed, and they got the mother inside. They gave her clothes that had been donated by another group in Newcastle, and so these three groups had helped with this little baby that was there in the bottom of the canoe. And that's the sort of cooperation that we need, we look for, and we appreciate so much.
Wow. So that's the work from Australia working together to change lives over there. And so they've got access to these resources because people over here are donating to the work over there.
Most definitely. That's exactly how it works.
Wow. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to our supporters and potential supporters of the work that you're doing?
We're very grateful for all the support that is given towards the medical work in the Solomons. And when you go out there, you see what a big impact the little bit of help is to these people. We in Australia are so blessed. You know, we have ambulances, we have hospitals, we have doctors. These folk are only 3 hours flight away, but they have no help whatsoever. So any donations that we receive are gratefully accepted to help these people. And we just thank you for Melinda for supporting the work of Sonship and Medicine Ships, and we thank all your supporters as well.
Thank you so much, Trevor. We've really appreciated your friendship and love the work that you're doing over in the Solomon Islands.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for seeing what we're doing over there, seeing what Trevor's doing, and being a part of that through your donations. It makes such a difference to the people out in the Solomon Islands.